What's going on, everyone? This is going to be a Super Auto Pets tier list. Super Auto Pets is like a game where you build your own team with these different animals, and each animal has a different ability, and I've been obsessed with it over the past month. So I'm going to be doing a tier list of all of the standard pack edition animals because I'm too broke to spend $5 on the deluxe edition. So here we go. I'm just going to do it right in order. Starting off with the ant. I feel like the ant is pretty good. I like to pill it eventually once it hits like level 2, but it's not like godly. I'll give it a high B. Badger. I like Badger. Badger can be a good tank unit in the front, or Honey Badger in the back is really strong, so I'm going to give the Badger A tier. Beaver. Beaver's mid. Bison, I love Bison. I think Bison is great. The only caveat that doesn't make it an S tier is that you need a level 3 animal on your team. So it takes a little bit to get that level 3 animal, and then if it's too late, then there's no point in getting the Bison. So I'm just going to give it an A tier. The cat. I know the cat is useful, but I've never put it in my team ever. I haven't messed around with food decks yet, so I'm just going to give it a high C tier just because I really haven't used it yet. Pufferfish, I'm giving it mid C tier. You really have to work with the pufferfish to like make the deck actually work. Hog Rider. I don't know. I never found a situation where I've used a hog, but I know it starts off with high health and damage and has a decent ability, so I'll just give it B tier. Canned food, I've never used it, D tier. Squirrel, never used it, D tier. Chocolate, S tier. Chocolate is great. It gives an experience point, and like that could help level up a fly or a turkey or a parrot. I love chocolate. Cow. I used to never use cow, but now I know it's useful to just use the milk, and then sell it. I think it has good value, so I'm going to give it a B tier. Crab. I like crab. I think crab is useful. If you have like a high level fish or something early on in the game, I think crab is really strong, so I'm going to give crab an A tier. Cricket. Cricket is just like an average troop. It's an average spawn deck troop. I mean, there's obviously other animals that are better spawners than the cricket, but I mean, for starting off, it's good, so I'm just going to give it a low B tier. Crocodile. Crocodile is a good sniper. I'm going to give Crocodile a B tier as well. Cupcake is cool, but the buff that the Cupcake gives is only for 1 round, so for that reason, I'm going to give it a C tier. Meat. I like meat, but there's other food options that I prefer, and meat only works once, so I'm going to give it like a mid B tier. Deer. Deer is cool. If you level up a deer and pair it with a whale, deers are really good, so I'm going to give deer an A tier. Dodo Bird. Dodo Birds have so much potential to be good, but I just never have the right deck to make the Dodo Bird good. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a low B tier. Dog. I hate the dog. I think the dog is so pointless. There's just, like, the shark is just literally a better version of the dog. Dolphin. Dolphin's a pretty decent sniper. Struggles with scaling, so I'm going to give it a high C tier. Dragon. I've literally never bought a dragon. It gives you +1 of each if you buy a tier 1 pet, but like when this thing spawns, you're not buying tier 1 pets anymore. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a really low C tier. Duck. Ducks are pointless. Elephant. Elephants only combo well with like a pufferfish or a camel. So for that reason, since you have to pair it with something else, I don't really think it provides as much value, so I'm going to give it a low C tier. Sheep. I think sheeps are a good spawner unit. They pair well with a lot of different other animals, so I'm going to give sheep a good A tier. Fish. I tell you, when you roll 3 fishes at the very beginning of the game, oh my gosh. Oh, it's just so cute. I love the fish. S tier. I know I'm biased. I don't care. Flamingo. Flamingo's okay. I prefer to just pill the Flamingo to get the buff. So I honestly think the ant's better. So I'm going to give it a low B tier. Fly. Instant S tier. without a doubt. Without a doubt. Garlic. I think garlic is really useful. It like protects the pet for 2 damage, so like instead of like receiving 4 damage, it would receive 2 instead. Like that's really useful. Like if you can put that on any troop honestly, and it's helpful. So camel gives +1 to the friend ahead, and then like obviously as it levels up, it gives more health to more friends ahead. So it's useful, but like the penguin is better. Or there's other troops that can do the same job as the giraffe, so for that reason I'm going to give it like a mid B tier. The gorilla.
Gorilla born, gorilla grow, gorilla die, over and over.
I know the gorilla can be strong because of the coconut armor, but I've just never been able to make it work. Maybe that's just because, you know, I'm bad at the game, so I'm going to put it like there. Salad. I think salad's pretty good. I'm going to put salad. No, the cow's better than salad. Hedgehog. Hedgehog decks can be fun, but you know, you have to pair it with other animals to make it work. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it here right next to the pufferfish. Hippo. Hippo is either really good or it just doesn't work. If a hippo versus a spawner deck, you're gonna win. Like a hippo by itself can take out a whole spawner deck. Honey. I'm putting it right next to the badger for the honey badger. The horse. I'm gonna give the horse a high B tier. Yeah, because the horse is really good for providing other friends that spawn health, but like the turkey does a better job. Splash damage. I think splash damage is underrated. I'm gonna give splash damage A tier. Kangaroo. Kangaroo can be really strong, but it's really weak when it starts out, so it's a give and take. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it a B tier. Jaguar. Jaguar does like 10 damage to a random enemy, but like it's a tier 6, and at that point I feel like it's too late in the game to put it somewhere in your deck. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it a C tier. I'll put it like right there. Mammoths. Mammoths are good if they're paired with an extra life, or if a whale eats a mammoth, it can be really useful because then it gives +2 to everyone on your team. So mammoth by itself is like B tier, but when mammoth is paired with something, A tier for sure. Meat is an S tier. Meat is really good. It's 5 extra damage. Melon armor, S tier. Melon armor protects you for 1 hit completely, up to 20 damage, which is really useful. Monkey. Monkey can be strong, but I think the penguin just does a better job, so I'm gonna give monkey B tier. Mosquito. Mosquito's okay. I mean, it's a solid troop in the beginning of the game, but after that, it kind of falls off. It's good. It can snipe melon armor, which is good. Like it can hit melon armor, but other than that, I'm just gonna give it a C tier. But like, don't get me wrong. It's really good in the early game. Extra life. Extra life. It depends on who you put it on. Like I said, if you put it on the mammoth, it's really good. So I'll give it a B tier. Otter. Otters early game are really strong. Like I've had a roll before where like I get 1 fish and I get like 5 otters in a row, and then the otter just keeps feeding the fish, and it helps make really tanky units early on in the game. So for that reason, I'm gonna give Otter a high B tier. Ox. I'm a personal fan of the ox. I think an ox fits well in a spawner deck where other tanky troops might not. Like an ox with a fly with something else in front of it is really good. So I'm gonna give ox like a low A tier, because I know some people don't like the ox, but I mean that's just, I like the ox. Parrot. I love the parrot. I think the parrot can pair well in almost any single deck to copy someone else's ability. I think that's really strong. The peacock can pair well with the dodo, but it just struggles to scale in later game unless you like just get really lucky with the rolls. So I'm gonna give peacock a B tier. Pear. I like the pear. Pear is an A tier. It's just a general buff. Penguin, instant S tier. Gives +1 at level 1. It gives +1 of each to any level 2 or above other pet in your team, so it's really good. Pig, D tier. Pill. Pill is useful, but it can only be used for certain animals, like the turtle, or the mammoth, or the ant. So the fact that but it costs 1 gold. It costs 1 gold. I'm gonna give the pill an A tier actually. I think the pill's very underrated. Pizza, easy A tier. Bunny. I didn't think the bunny was good at all, but I've actually watched some gameplay of it, and I think it's actually very underrated. So I'm gonna give the bunny a high B tier. The rat. The rat only works with certain decks. Like the rat can work with a camel, because then like the camel will have to attack the dirty rat, and then the camel can use its ability easy. But like other than that, like I don't find a use for it, so I'm just gonna give it a D tier, or I'll give it a low C tier. Apple, it's okay. It's just C tier. Rhino can be good, but like its ability only helps itself, so B tier. Rooster. Rooster can be really good, but I just prefer like the sheep or the fly, so I'm just gonna give it a B tier. Scorpion. Scorpion has the instant knockout effect, but it's really weak. So it's like a glass cannon, so I'm just gonna give it a B tier. Pretty safe. I remember its ability. It's if someone else eats shop food, then like it gives health, but like there's other things that just do a better job. Like the penguin does a better job. The giraffe does a better job. So I'm gonna give it a low C tier, honestly. Shark can be really good in spawner decks if you have like a fly and a sheep and maybe like a parrot to copy the fly or something. Like a shark will like gain a lot of health, but it's very niche. It's a very niche troop. So I'm gonna give it a high B tier because I know it has a lot of potential. What is that? Lobster? I don't care about the lobster. Lobster's like if there's a tier, actually. Lobster's going in its own tier. Lobster just sucks. Skunk is underrated. I think Skunk is actually really good. It deals 33% damage to the highest health opponent before the game starts, which is like at like later stages in the game, like people are maxed out, so like 50 health, like take that down to like 45, or like if the skunk levels up, it's like 50 health down to 25. Like that's crazy. Sloth. The sloth literally does nothing. It's a goal to win the game with a sloth like by itself, but the sloth is super rare. But just for the memes, I'm gonna give the sloth the S tier. Snail. I think snail's good, but the caveat is you can only use it. It's only useful after you lose a round. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it a low A tier. Snake. I think snake is good. It's just you have to have a really tanky unit in front of it in order for it to work well. But say you have like ideal scenario, your version of spawner deck, right? Then you got a hippo in front, and then you got a snake. Each time the hippo attacks, the snake does damage, and then the parrot copies the snake or something like that. Like that's just really strong. The spider. You see, the spider can spawn a tier 2 troop, or no, tier 3. Spider can spawn a tier 3 troop. That tier 3 troop could be a snail, which like provides no use, or it could be a sheep or a turtle, which is really strong. So for that reason, I'm just gonna give spider C tier. Sushi's good. Sushi's good. A tier. Swan. I think Swan's really good. It gives you more gold. I'm gonna give Swan the S tier. Tiger. I've never been able to fit a tiger in my deck, but I know it's good. It makes the pet in front of it repeat its ability. So like the tiger and a snake is like a really strong combination. So I'm actually gonna give tiger S tier. Tiger is really underrated. Turkey S tier. Turkey is literally a better horse, like without a doubt. Turtle's also S tier. Turtle provides melon armor, which is really strong. Camel can be super tanky if you get lucky with the rolls, and then it gives health to the friend behind. So like one combination is like kangaroo camel, like that's really strong. So I'm actually gonna put them right next to each other. Whale's A tier because whale can eat a deer. Whale can eat a mammoth. Whale can. Who else can a whale eat? A whale could eat like a hedgehog, and the hedgehog will do its damage. The whale could just eat a lot of people. It could eat a lot of people and then respawn it, and that's just really strong. The worm. I know the worm is good for scaling, but I've never put the worm in my deck. I'm just gonna give it a C tier. Yeah, I guess this is my list. This looks like a pretty solid list. Is there anything I want to change? Bison's not S tier. Actually, I'm gonna move garlic to S tier. Garlic is really strong. Even in late game, garlic can be strong. This is my tier list. Unfortunately, I don't have the deluxe, so I can't do those ones as well. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below, and thank you for watching.